Greetings everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. I've dubbed this session Coruscant the Early Years because it's going to be a long fight. A very long fight. It's not going to be like any other homeworld battle that I've done before, unfortunately. They've got some special things in there that prevent me from doing that way. So let's take a bit and hop in there with our first incursion. And this is basically the beginning to the final battle of the game. We'll see how long that lasts. And then if this goes off the way I intend to, we'll come back and take a look at my defenses and sort of the back and forth that's going to happen here. Okay, and let's pop in here. Now I've got some scout ships coming in so we can see everything that's going to go on. But the first thing I want to do is nail this. Core Cross-Planet Attack Guard Post. This thing generates a CPA right when you first show up, and then another one every 13 minutes and change until you deal with it. So that's my first target. I want to get rid of this. Now I'm sure you're thinking, well, why don't you do the normal plan? Diversion, knock out the core warhead interceptor, then send in warheads. Well, I tried that. I tried that multiple times. And here's why not. There's a thing down here by this fortress. Core Grav Reactor Post. Now this slows everything down near it, but it also sends out drones that slow down enemy ships and then eventually crash into them. And here's why that's a problem. Because I tried to do various diversions, and no matter how many ships I set in here as a diversion or what I did with them, those drones just float all over the system at anything you're trying to send in. My transports that I was trying to get all the way down here to nail the core warhead interceptor, I couldn't get through, and they would just get swamped by enemy ships. I couldn't get near enough to it to destroy it. Well, then what about coming in through Ukraine? Well, I mean, again, I'm lined up straight with this. It's still across the system. This isn't near a wormhole, and neither is this, where I can just knock them out. So that just didn't work. And then plus, this thing acts as a black hole machine, which we'll see in a second. So my ships coming in here, as soon as they show up, I want them to just beeline for that. And there's the black hole machine, and you can see all the ships massing for the CPA in literally 10 seconds, and we're not going to be able to kill it by then. So we've got that volume of CPA. It appears to be using the same calculation as the standard CPAs do. It's bigger than the last one was, because more time has passed. We're starting at 1,200 ships before they deploy their strategic reserve. So that's bad. And of course, why is it that many? Well, again, we've been having the beachhead up on Neptune for literally hours now, and that put this on alert, so it's just been adding and adding and adding and adding and adding and adding ships. And I knew that was a problem, but I felt like I was stuck with it. So I've experimented with this a few times to try to find the right amount of force to knock this out without getting too much of a response. So I think that there we are. We're headed straight for it, and hopefully we can get this done. Of course, the unit I'm using here is all of the high numbers of mostly a couple of the other ones as well, the smaller, more powerful groups, but the large numbers of less powerful champion support ships. And they're all immune to being insta-killed and translocation and paralysis and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm using them. And I just want to have them come down here. Okay, and now I want to send in the second part of my attack. This is all my Mark I fleet ships. I'm going to pen them in. And what I want them to do is come right out here. Their purpose is to destroy the orbital mass driver. And of course, I'm trying to get away from their fortresses right over there. And the CPA has already arrived, but we can't really worry about that. Okay, unload these. Go after the orbital mass driver. Come on. There it is. Go after the Special Forces Guard Post, and then just kill whatever you can. Down here, do we even kill this? I can't even tell. Well, the timer's not there anymore, so I think we did. We did, in fact, kill it 10 seconds ago, and I didn't see the message flap up. Okay, so I don't even care what we lost, but these are all going to get wiped out. And, they were deploying their strategic reserve. Well, they've still got quite a bit of it left. So over time, I'm going to want to see. The only way that I can think of to do this is I'm just going to bring in the biggest groups that I can get away with. Try to escape from their main attacks, and I'll probably want to eventually take this down. This is the core raid engine. It's the one that keeps sending ships to Neptune. Wear down their numbers over time. So it's just going to be a massive battle of attrition, I think. Now let's take a look at our preparations elsewhere. First of all, let's look here in Rhea. And I think it got blown up on its way in here because I had... Oh, no, but still coming. I've got a cloaker starship coming down here to help out with these warheads because I think I need that. We're going to need that in order to use these because they're so much slower in this system. If they're protected with the cloaker, the enemy won't see them coming. So I've got a couple warheads in here. I've got a couple in Ouija Man, a couple in Pretoria, and I built more in Radislava. And that's just to sort of defend all of those places with warheads. I'm going to need to use, I'm sure, a lot of warheads before this is over. I started off with full metal. It's down a lot lower now. And I've got some warheads to help in Neptune eventually. Right now they're in Uranus with this other Special Forces guard post. And this is where all of my ships being rebuilt are coming out. Now I want to keep some military ships in here to keep bleeding off their special forces that are constantly accumulating. I did put some more in here. And you see some of these, like these raid starships, I think I just annoyed them in Coruscant and they came out over here. And anything that wants to do that is just fine with me. So I've built up more of the heavy beam cannons in here, and I want to keep some ships in here non-stop. Now I'm also keeping my starships in here for now because if we take a look, for example, at the heavy bomber, these are immune to EMPs, and the larger champion support ships are so as well. And the reason that matters is I'm sure we just ticked off a bunch of EMP guardians. So that's one of the things that I've got in the air right now. I've got all the threat from the CPA. I'm going to have this exo attack coming in soon. I'm trying to rebuild my ships. All of that going on at the same time. So what I'm probably going to do for now is take this transport, and this has all of my Mark V spider bots, and take that, the other champion support ships I've got, and my Shadow battleship, and take them around and try to help clean out some of the CPA threat elements while we rebuild. The regular flagships, starships, etc. staying in here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want them to take on any of the EMP guardians that come in or be available to move into a nearby system if they come around and do that. I'm going to be watching for any alerts on those because I'm going to need to protect my systems against those with something that can handle the EMP situation. And as we go through this is going to be a constant back and forth. Of course, we're going to have regular CPAs coming up. We're going to have, I'm sure at some point, another Exo Nemesis wave, etc., etc. Every half an hour, of course, the homeworld Exo attacks will keep cycling up and up and up. And either we're going to be able to start hammering down the number of ships they have in their homeworld before then, or we're simply going to lose. But I'm going to show all the different major, at least, attacks that I do, the different things that I'm trying to do to clean out, just to sort of show the whole picture of this. But it's going to be kind of brutal. And frankly, if I had to guess odds, I wouldn't give myself better than 1 in 3 chance of winning this. I might, but it's going to be tough. Now, before I came into this, other than doing another Special Forces cleaning in here, I also did a couple hacks to get us a couple new ships. One was just to show them, even though I'm not going to probably be able to use them perfectly in this, like the way they were designed. But also just, look, I need to get help from wherever I can. So we've got these Spire, like let's show up one here. Spire Stealth Battleship, there they go. They look, you know, similar to the stuff that we saw in the Fallen Spire campaign, only smaller. And these things, well, stealth is their key. They get cloaking, they get radar dampening, they are immune to a whole bunch of stuff. And the basic general strategy with them is you go around, you take them patiently to go clean out fairly tough systems because they can fight at range and they're fairly survivable, and it takes a concentrated force to knock them down, and they're cloaked so they can go various places. Not going to be as good in a massed attack against a homeworld that has tachyon protection, but maybe towards the end of the battle it would be helpful to bring them in from additional firepower that can't be insta-killed. Then we've got the Core Zenith Medical Frigate. And these are immune to a lot of stuff also, but their big thing is being able to repair in hostile territory. Engineers don't do well. They take tons of extra damage. They don't have a lot of health. So these can fight a little bit, but their main thing is that repairing in hostile territory. Again, may be good towards the end of the battle if we get over the hump. Alright, here's the next major action. We have a reprisal of almost 3,000 ships hitting Radislava. Now, because it's that big, I don't think they're probably that powerful as ships. Nonetheless, it is 3,000 ships to our homeworld. I'm moving the fortresses over here, and I've got my shadow ship and some additional ships here. There's another group that's on its way, but it's probably a few minutes out. And we've totally drained our metal in the rebuilding, so this is going to get real fun. Okay, we've got a carrier, we've got 3 plasma sieges. The carrier's fairly fully stocked, and we've got a bunch of polarizers, which are far from being the most feared type. So I think we're going to be alright. But when you're looking at 3,000 ships, you don't want to just sort of sit there and, you know, take it for granted. $2,300 ships. Of course, our heavy beam cannons firing away. We've got our fortresses in place. We don't even seem to be losing that many of these. Mr. Shadow, why don't you come back a little bit more? Oh, home command station's under attack. Probably got their plasma sieges firing off. Looks like it's okay health-wise. But of course, it's always a question of can you pound them down fast enough? Under 1,000 now, though. A lot of them being held in place. I don't... Yeah, all the starships are gone. Okay, and here comes... Yeah, here's my replacement group. Didn't notice them coming in, but... Okay, so that wasn't a problem. That wasn't bad at all. Now, we're out of metal, but we're getting close to coming out of it. A lot of it due to this salvage here. We've got about 4 minutes till the next exo attack. So that's my biggest concern. And frankly, I'm absolutely shocked. We have not seen any of the EMP Guardians come out. And that's amazing to me. Did we literally not annoy them enough to tick off their EMP Guardians? Because I know they had some in there. For them to have a homeworld and not have the high mark EMP Guardians would be astounding. Regardless, of course, I'm going to switch all my shipbuilding here at this point. I'm going to want to deflect these exo attacks when they come in. I could try to fight them outside of the homeworld, but any attempt really at doing that is going to cause issues. And I'm going to depend on everything else to defend itself against these the rest of the exo wave, which I think we should be able to do reasonably effectively. And then once we get rid of the first Coruscant exo, we'll see what's next. Well, literally seconds after I said that, guess what happened? We had EMP Mark V come in here into Neptune. There's another one. So now I'm working on trying to keep this from causing too much damage. Moving around with my starships and fighting off the various things that they have. Another one. There we go. And they can shoot off as many of those as they want. These ships can handle it. Question is, can they survive long enough to get, you know, and the worst that is going to happen is I'll just generate another reprisal. Because if I lose all these ships, I'll eventually rebuild this beachhead, but I prefer not to. I'd like them to come back. There's another one. So we're clearing them out, but I don't know that my ships yet. I don't think I've got enough here to repel everything that they're sending in. I don't think I do. We're going to have another nice big reprisal here because I need these to come back online, but they take almost a minute after, you know, the last one goes off. Come on. Yeah, and there's not much left in here. Okay. So that's unfortunate. Like, it was a decent plan. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've got any more EMPs. So I think we took out the EMPs, but not their support ship. Reprisal that's going to hit because of that. And that's not going to be a lot of fun. But I've got to see to the defense of my homeworld. See, the warheads wouldn't have helped because they're not EMP immune. So I simply didn't have enough in here to guard against that. What it boils down to. But if we cleanse the EMPs smashing this beachhead, there are worse tragedies in the world. Turns out I missed one of them. One of them came in right after that. It hit Neptune. It's coming into Uranus. We're going to lose Uranus, I think. Pretoria here, though, we can't really afford to lose. So it's got a good amount of ships here. At about 1,500 to start. I don't think we're going to deflect them all with our normal defenses. So I'm just waiting to deploy the warheads here, basically. So I want these all to be coming in here before I do that. Let's just take a look, because I don't want Radislava to go to heck while I'm paying attention to this. The EXO is on its way, but it's not here yet. You can see the next one's routing up and preparing. And yeah, this is going to get... Oh no, this has come back online. Okay, good. This may survive. Be nice if it did. You know, of course, we've got a bunch of ships in here. Let's move them up this way. Okay, so we've got multiple battles going on here at once. Let's focus on Pretoria. Because if Uranus dies, that's fine. Because there's nothing vital there. You can see this reprisal coming to MJ-12. We may lose that as well. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding going on here. But theoretically, this should be the worst of it. And let's see, there's only a few of these. They're starting to pound this down now. Okay, let's go. Let's send you out. There we go. Only +1 AI progress. And then I'm hoping that we can... See, 700 ships? I don't know. We lost Uranus. Let's see what's left in there. 240 some ships. What I care about is the EMP Guardian. And I don't see it. I think it's gone. So that's very, very nice. 183 ships left here. I think we're going to just barely survive this. Come on. Oh, no, there's one of them's a carrier with 300 in it. Yeah, there's 500 and some. We're not. This is going down too fast. I think I've got to set off this other warhead as well. I think I'm being too conservative with them. There we go. Now they'll finish off the rest of that. Okay. Now we've got hybrids and other fun things attacking MJ-12, which will probably go down. I don't... Again, this is one of the expendable systems. I don't have any backups in here. And then let's see... Radislava, I think are they starting to come in? What do they have? They only got fighters. Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the EXO. So let's focus in here. All we've lost really is a little bit of AI progress, some expendable systems. We're just waiting to see what they bring. Yep, they knocked out another warhead, so what? Let's pop back over to MG-12. Let's see how that's going. 1140? Yeah, it's about to go down. This system's about to die. You can see... Oh yeah, 200 and some Zenith reprocessors. Yeah, that's going to be gone. Okay. But we're still waiting for... Yep, there it goes. What I'm still waiting to see here is the big ships from the EXO. And some of it at least came here to Ouija, man. You can see they got the implosion artillery. But, you know, they sent some of those in, but now they've just got some starships left. Our defenses appear to have been equal to that task. Let's kill that raid starship. Let's kill that raid starship. Okay, you're annoying me. Let's kill that raid starship. There we go. Oh my. They were going after the Zenith power generator and they almost got it. Let's see, where is our... Yeah, I'm going to want to bump that up so that they repair that. They're going to need to repair that. And that, of course, is just going to suck up more metal. Okay, now they've just started. They've seeded a hybrid somewhere. Most of this attack is in Typhon. Another expendable system. But I feel like we've absorbed the Exo. So we're going to want to come to the defense of Typhon. There isn't a whole lot more out there. Not sure what the other ship was. We've got MJ-12 to rebuild, Uranus to rebuild, the beachhead in here to rebuild. And I don't even know if we'll be able to get that done before the next Exo hits. But the point is, we've absorbed that part. We can rebuild and try to go on the attack. So I think that's probably a good cutting off point for now. We'll call this the first phase, the early years. I'm going to rebuild everything, get set back up. And we'll see if I can do that in time to dip into Coruscant again and take another swipe at them. Or if we've got to wait till later. I do think that we've cleaned out most, if not all, of the EMP Mark Vs. And I think if we ran that whole scenario back again, we might have enough in Neptune to hold on. Maybe not. But I'll make what adjustments I can and get it set up for the next round. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More AI War will continue.